All rise for the pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Clerk, please call the roll.
Councilman Alvarez.
Here.
Councilwoman Eckhart.
Here.
Councilman Larka.
Here.
Councilman Lord.
Here.
Supervisor Hay.
Here. Notation, the exits in the front and the rear and electronic device, please put it on vibrate. I make a motion to go into the work session portion of the meeting.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
First item is discussion, amend public notice for requirements. As you're aware, condominiums have an issue, and so do, in this particular case, it's co-ops.
Co-ops, right.
And a co-op is a large piece of property owned by one entity, so to speak, and there's no tax map other than one. So it was in our rule, it was not quite clear enough, so the bottom line is they would have to notify a person next to them immediately and just know the co-op itself by notice. Otherwise, they might have to send out, 50 to 100, and it's just for clarification. So we're going to just put it on for the next meeting, which will be, I'm going to put it on to the second meeting because organizational, the first of the year. Oh, wait, no, wait.
Tony, is
We
this
can't-
some-
can we make
we'd-
it?
We'd have to do an amendment to the zoning code.
I know.
So we have to set a public hearing.
Right. Do we have time to get it for next meeting? It's 2 weeks from tonight.
Yeah.
If I would,
Tomorrow?
I could get it in for, generally they're supposed to have, be in by noon on Thursday.
Yeah.
But I've learned that if I get it in by Friday morning, they can sometimes fit it in. So that you'd want a public hearing on the last meeting of the month. of
Yes.
this- of the- which
Because
is
if not,
gonna
we
be-
have to put it on the first meeting. I mean, we can wait until January too. This is not a rush to get it done.
No, it's not, but it's just something, if you want to get it out of the way, get
I'd like to do that.
because the public hearing, and then you'd want to adopt the local law the following.
We could do that in
Yeah.
organizational.
Right.
Okay, so what's the date for the next meeting? Today's
The 19th.
19th?
I believe.
Okay.
Yeah, it's the
December
19th.
public hearing. Okay.
We're gonna set it to-
So we'll just, during the regular meeting, I'll make a motion to put it on for the public hearings, okay?
Good.
Any questions on this? It's pretty much in the regulations already.
No,
We're
you'll just be
clarifying.
able to read what the change is.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Yeah. Okay?
Good.
Okay. Make a motion now to go into the regular portion of the meeting?
A second.
All in favor?
Aye.
First item is a resolution, Shaneland Lane acceptance of offer of dedication. Now therefore be resolved, the supervisor of the town of Southeast is hereby authorized to accept a deed or deeds dedicating and releasing the necessary lands for the road known as Shaneland Lane, run from Welfare Road up to and including the cul-de-sac, and cause same to be recorded in the Putnam County Clerk's office in connection with the residential development known as Triple J subdivision, upon the developer having fulfilled the following terms and conditions. 1, the road shall be completed in accordance with all other town highway road construction specifications in a manner satisfactory to the town's consultant engineers and the town highway superintendent. And 2, the developer shall provide a deed or deeds of dedication for all portions of such road being dedicated to the town, necessary to convey fee simple title to the lands underneath the road to the town of Southeast, free and clear of all liens and encumbrances except for utility easements. And 3, the developer shall provide the town with all necessary and proper easements, if any, across adjoining lands for the purpose of drainage or discharge of stormwater from the dedicated portion of the road over such adjoining lands. And 4, the developer shall provide a title insurance policy issued by a company which is a member of the New York Board of Title Underwriters in good standing, insuring the town fee simple title into such road as described in the deed dedication in the amount of $10,000. And 5, the developer shall provide all documentation necessary and proper for the formation or establishment of a stormwater drainage district for review by the town attorney. And 6, the developer shall post a performance bond with the town clerk in a form acceptable to the town attorney in the amount of $24,700 for a period of 4 years pursuant to Town Subdivision Regulation 123-48D 2A, and be further resolved that upon compliance with the foregoing conditions and in accordance with the provisions of Section 171 of Highway Law of the State of New York, consent is hereby given that the Highway Superintendent of the Town of Southeast make order laying out the aforesaid town highway to consist of the lands described in deed of dedication, and be further resolved that upon compliance with the aforesaid conditions and upon posting the appropriate maintenance bond, the town clerk is authorized to record the deed or deeds of dedication in Putnam County Clerk's office. So move for discussion.
Second.
Discussion.
How soon are they going to have those conditions met? Or how, are they in the process of doing this, or is
I-
it,
Most of
they're
them have
all
already
done.
been
They're
completed.
already done.
they're already done?
Most of them are done.
Most of them.
Yes,
Okay, cool.
yes. They, both the hired superintendent signed off on it, and so did the town engineer.
All right,
So those will be all met.
good.
Okay? All in favor?
Aye.
Number 2, it's a resolution, Triple J subdivision release of performance bond, establishment of a maintenance bond. Now therefore be resolved that the bond amount for the following project is set as follows. Project name, Triple J subdivision. Present amount, $260,100. Recommended to 0. And be further resolved that the developer shall post a bond to ensure the maintenance of the stormwater management system constructed in connection with the Triple J subdivision for a period of 4 years, the amount of $24,700. So move for discussion.
Second.
Discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, last meeting we had discussion of, and public hearing on the local law to amend Chapter 71 explosives and blasting. I spoke with the town attorney on this, and I'm going to ask that we defer this and to another meeting. I would like to make some additional changes before we pass it.
I'll second.
For discussion?
Okay, discussion.
I just want to make sure then there will have to be another public hearing on this, correct?
Depending, if we make any substantial change,
Right.
which there may be, if there's a substantial change, yes, there'll be a new public hearing. And if we take it as is, if we clarify it, we
Right.
will.
Okay,
But I'm quite sure we will.
okay.
And what are the changes?
No, there's no changes at the moment, but Will had pointed out to me, and I had experience it myself, I was building a house and I had a blast for my foundation. And even though we're concerned about major projects, a little small project, like I call it a Mickey Mouse project, so to speak, has the same regulations, all this additional paperwork to follow, and I'm not sure if that's necessary. So I'm gonna ask that we reconsider it and talk with Ashley and find out if someone has like a foundation or, you know, can we make it like a bigger project? I've asked them to make a change to it anyway. What I want is when these projects are approved, if it requires a tremendous amount of blasting, like in the last case, it took 2 years, that they have to adhere to a certain regulation. Like when a project is approved, it's dependent upon the DEP approval, this one, that one. I want anything to do with blasting over a certain amount of tonnage, which we're gonna try to come up with a number, would have to go to the DEC to verify the fact that it's not a mining operation, but just blasting. That will eliminate the problem we had with the last project.
Okay. Are you going to consider any of the other options that?
Yes,
Okay.
yes, we had
That-
someone bring forward at the
Yeah, yeah,
meeting
I-
some other suggestions, and they will be taken into
Yeah, because
consideration.
when I helped to do the law a few years ago, and I had talked about some of the things that Ms. Venezi mentioned, and it might be good to at least look at those all again and see what's reasonable and what would work for the town and not be too burdensome, but,
Okay, so,
Yeah, with what Ms. Finizzi had brought forward, those were probably, would be more beneficial to incorporate into small blasting in residential areas, because then
Yes.
she was looking to monitor air quality and other issues, whereas the large project that we were paying attention to, that brought about this decision about changing some of the laws, that's really far away from many other residents, and air quality and those sorts of things would have been difficult to monitor.
okay, well,
But Okay,
So the motion to defer, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Did I need a second on the motion to start?
Yes, we have
I-
a second.
Was there? Okay, good.
Yep.
Number 4, resolution special permit request 577 North Main LLC. Now therefore be resolved that the town board of the town of Southeast hereby makes the following findings of fact in connection with the instant application. 1, the proposed use in such location and is a size and character that it will be in harmony with the appropriate and orderly development of the surrounding district and will not be detrimental to the immediate site or adjacent properties. 2, the location and size of the proposed use, the nature, the intensity of operations involved conducted in connection with therewith, its site layout, and its relation to access streets will be such that both pedestrian and vehicular traffic to and from the use and the assembly of persons in connection thereof will not be hazardous. 3, the exterior appearance of the building will not hinder or discourage development and use of adjacent land and buildings. 4, the proposed use will not require such additional public facilities or services or create fiscal burdens upon the town greater than those which characterize the uses permitted as of right. And be further resolved that based upon the foregoing findings, the town board of the town of Southeast hereby grants a special use permit to allow the portion of the subject premises known as the Quonset hut to be used and occupied by Brewster Taxi / Express Taxi, its lawful successors and assigns for motor vehicle repair purposes on the following conditions. 1, the applicant and its tenant shall operate the facility in compliance with all conditions set forth in Article 10 of the zoning code. 2, the motor vehicle repair use shall occur solely within the Quonset hut structure and shall not exceed 2,700 square feet of that structure. 3, there shall be no repair of vehicles outside the Quonset hut building, and there shall be no storage of unregistered or inoperative motor vehicles on the subject premises unless entirely within the Quonset hut. 4, the motor vehicle repair facility should not be open to the public. There shall be no repair of any motor vehicles not owned, operated by Brewster Taxi and/or Express Taxi anywhere in the subject premises. And the hours of operation of the motor vehicle repair facility shall be between the hours of, it should read 6 o'clock a.m., it says 8, but change it to 6 a.m. to 9 o'clock p.m. only on any given day. And be further resolved that the town clerk is hereby authorized and directed to forward his copy, the certified copy of this resolution to 55 North Main LLC, the owner of record of the subject premises, to the Secretary of the Town of Southeast Planning Board, and to the Southeast Building Department forthwith. So move for discussion.
Second.
Discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
And you noted the 6 o'clock, right? So change it tomorrow in the official. Number 5, resolution settlement of certiorari proceedings, Foggentown LLC, tax map number 46.6-1-39 and number 35.1-10. Now therefore be resolved that the town board of the town of Southeast does hereby accept the recommendations of its professional advisors and authorize the town attorney to execute a stipulation of settlement, consent judgment, and/or order on consent in accordance with recommendations for the following. Petitioner, Foggentown LLC, 284 Foggentown Road. Tax ID 46.6-1-39, year 2019. Assessment $275,000. Settled assessment $240,000. Foggentown LLC, 300-302 Foggentown Road. Tax ID 35.1-10, year 2019. Assessment $575,000. Settled assessment $470,000. And be further resolved that the town attorney is hereby authorized and directed to execute any and all stipulations, consent orders, or other documents necessary to reflect the foregoing settlement. So move for discussion.
Second.
Discussion.
Are these residences, these are not business?
I believe they're.
Yes, the residence, and one's a vacant piece of property.
Thank you.
Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Number 6, resolution, traffic light safety study for US New York State Route 6, New York State Route 121. This is the area by the former Fox Ridge Motel. That motel, by the way, should be opening in the next 60 days. It moved along quite rapidly. So it's that intersection right there, it's a 4-lane road, and with the traffic now, with everyone looking for a shortcut coming in from Connecticut to New York State, you cannot believe the traffic on that road, and a lot of near misses, and John had brought it to the Traffic Safety Board and recommended we pass this resolution tonight, and here it is. Okay, now therefore be resolved that the Town Board of the Town of Southeast hereby requests the New York State Department of Transportation to conduct a study to determine if additional traffic signals / control devices should be installed at the intersection of US New York State Route 6 and New York State Route 121. And be further resolved that the town clerk be and is hereby is authorized and directed to forward a certified copy of this resolution to the Regional Director of New York State Department of Transportation, Regional Traffic Safety and Mobility Group, forthwith. So move for discussion.
Second.
Discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Recognition of the public. Recognition of the board.
Tony, we do have e-waste this
Yes,
Saturday?
e-waste is the first Saturday of every month. Does anyone have a calendar
I do.
handy? What is January, what is the first Saturday in January?
January, the first Saturday is the 4th.
Yep.
Okay, we would have it then.
Yeah.
Yeah, because around Christmas time, I expect a lot of people to be, bringing in things for Christmas and things of that
Yes,
nature.
getting rid of
But if it was
old.
January 2nd, I would not have it, but January 4th,
Yeah,
there's
yeah,
enough time between
yeah.
it. Okay,
Do we need to set the public hearing?
yeah, good catch. Okay, let's go back to the regular meeting for a second. We're gonna set a public hearing for the amended public notice requirements to December 19th, 2019. So move for discussion.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, we're done? Is that
Yeah, I just wanted to remind people about e-waste, so get your house all ready for all those new electronics this Christmas.
Okay,
That's it.
I only have one other thing. This is a speed meeting tonight. We're not going anywhere, but it's a
Yeah.
speed meeting. Okay, I received notification today from a gentleman that's been helping us trying to get files here into the town of Southeast. It's not successful as yet, but we're trying. Now, they've recommended we dial a phone number, but until I call the phone number, I'm not gonna put it out to the public. They recommend us call a particular number. If you want to be connected to Triple Play, they're gonna give us a phone number to bug Verizon. We want it. Now, we definitely want to hear from the town of Southeast. We've been looking for it for the past 6 years. But there's one important announcement that I have to make, and we're gonna put it on our webpage tomorrow. And they're gonna be doing away with copper. Most of your telephones today, not most, in the old days, are copper, and they're moving to what? Eric, this is your field of expertise. What do they call it?
Voice over IP, I believe.
Okay. So at any rate, all of Verizon's copper retirement notices may be viewed on Verizon's website. We're gonna post this on our webpage. It's a little bit complicated, because I believe they have a little over 111 centers that are gonna do this. And we here in the town of Southeast it's located at 87 Main Street, Brewster, New York. So they're gonna go from copper to this new system, and let me read what they're saying is gonna happen. Description of the plan network changes. Verizon intends to retire copper facilities at all remaining locations in the 111 wire centers listed above, of which the town of Southeast is one. Verizon has deployed or plans to deploy its fiber to the premises network in these areas and intends to provide services over a fiber network infrastructure. Updating our network from copper to fiber benefits our customers because of the fiber's
Resilience?
resiliency and reliability, especially in inclement weather. Fiber also provides our customers with expanded capabilities to grow with current bandwidth demands for their homes or business. Description of reasonably foreseeable impacts of the plan changes. After the retirement of copper facilities, Verizon will, 1, no longer offer services over copper facilities, and 2, cease maintaining the copper facilities. To help ensure an orderly transition, Verizon may require customers and interconnecting entities to migrate services off of copper facilities well before copper retirement implementation date. Now, I'm not an expert on this here. Eric's a little more up to date on those types of things, but the bottom line is copper is going to be gone by, they're saying, September of next year. Now, it's going to affect some people, some more than others. And again, we'll post it And once I verify this phone number is real, we do want triple play in the town of Southeast, and we've been looking for it for the past 6 years. People say that when they call Verizon, that the town of Southeast does not want FiOS. We most certainly do. We have a contract right now, which Comcast is the only vendor. However, the contract we have with Comcast requires them to allow any other vendor that wants to bring in any kind of FiOS wiring into the town, providing they sign a contract with the town. And I'll tell you, every town board member sitting here today and tomorrow or in the future will want FiOS. Is that pretty much what we would agree with?
We definitely want choice, yes.
Yeah, so
Choice.
we want it. Don't listen to them. If they tell you we don't want it, that's not true. It's in the contract. We wrote that into the last contract. So that's a public service notice. We'll post it on the internet tomorrow. And I'm not sure how it affects me. I don't have a hard line in my house anymore, so it doesn't matter to me. And many people are going just to cell phones and not hardwire, but copper's almost gone, and it'll be gone by next year.
Do we have copper here?
I don't know.
We should
I
maybe look at
don't
that.
think so.
One other thing on the Verizon, I just tried to negotiate my Comcast bill, and I went to Verizon. They have internet available
Right.
in my area, but you can also opt for notifications and updates on their website for triple play, including the TV. So,
Who does?
you can go to Verizon Fios' website,
Okay.
and you can say, I want to be notified when triple play is available in my
Oh,
area.
yeah, well, that's what this phone number is gonna be, basically the same thing. So we're gonna ask everyone in this town to call them. Maybe 20,000 calls might help, but, and you know how they do those contests on TV and call up to 10 times? Let's do it. Any other comment? Seeing none, I'll entertain a motion.
I knew he was gonna do.
Santa's here.
Yes, yes.
Is there a motion?
I'll make a motion, we close tonight's meeting.
Is there a second? I think John's seconding it. By the way,
Yes.
this is John. Hold on. Oh, how do you make that work?
You broke it.
No, thanks, Tony.
Scrooge, leave me alone. Come on, play it.
You have to second.
I'll second.
Thank you, Eric.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you all for coming.
Night.